happy tonight to be bringing you our fourth series, if you will, to our Paying for College Essential Steps. Micah, if you want to go to that next slide, that would be great. I am here tonight with wrapping it up in our series, and it's called Making It Happen. And so blessed to have Micah Muda with us again tonight, as she is our expert in many things. And tonight is really no different. With our final series in Paying for College and the Essential Steps, Micah is really hitting it home with some great tips for you that I'm so looking forward to you hearing about. Micah is a youth impact coordinator for us here at the Intermediate School District and works with me in the LCAN, the Local College Access Network, as well as our Muskegon area Promise Zone. She'll introduce herself here in just a moment, but I want to make sure I take care of some housekeeping for tonight. Those of you who have been with us several times throughout this series know what I'm going to say, but I do want to remind folks that you will be muted as the series goes on this evening and your videos turned off. We are recording tonight, and when we do that, it's much easier to have only the host and the co-host videos up. It makes for a much better YouTube experience later. So we will be utilizing the mute and the camera off features, and we will also use the chat feature. And the chat feature is something that we have always done all along in this series, where you can ask us questions, you can see if there's something more interesting or another perhaps resource that you might be interested in, and we'll go ahead as hosts and monitor that throughout the session. Micah has a really unique thing she's going to use the chat feature for as well, so watch for that for sure. And without further ado and housekeeping done, I'm going to kind of let Micah take the lead tonight and share with us about her thoughts in making it happen. Go ahead, Micah.
Thank you so much. As Megan said, my name is Micah Muda, and in addition to those role titles, I would simply say college access is my passion, and I'm so excited to be here with you all tonight and really grateful that you're taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. So to start, and like Megan said, I hope this is a little less of me talking at you and more of a conversation altogether today. So if you'd be so kind to start and put your name, school district, and then if you're a junior or senior student or the parent of a junior or senior in the chat. Awesome, thank you. As those are coming in, I'll continue on. So what we'll be covering tonight. Tonight I plan on answering the following questions. What are financial aid terms I should know? What is a financial aid award letter? How do I accept my financial aid award package? How do I decide on a college? And how do I let a college know that I've decided to go to that college? And if there are any other questions that come up, please go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll answer them as we go along. Starting with financial aid terms. So there are 3 types of financial aid that you can receive to pay for college: grants, loans, and scholarships. And so the first chat question is a true or false. And the statement is, grants are free money for college that you don't have to pay back. True or false? And it's okay if names and grades are still coming up too. Awesome, lots of true, a true with an exclamation point. I like that confidence. Awesome, so you all are right. Grants are free money for college that you don't have to pay back. And in addition, to round out the types of aid, scholarships are free money for college that you don't have to pay back, just like grants. And loans are money for college that you do have to pay back. All right, so financial aid award letters. What is a financial aid award letter? Award letters help you make your college decision by outlining what financial aid you will receive for a specific college or university. They ideally separate aid into the different sections of grants, loans, and or scholarships. They certainly will have all of them on the award letter, as we'll see later. And this is so you can see what free money you receive and loan money you can receive to pay for college. One note, letters may look different depending on the school. Okay, so this is a short video that talks about 5 things to know about financial aid award letters. And I'll ask Megan for a thumbs up to make sure that we can hear it.
Review your award letter and other resources. Check out this section to note 5 items to know about award letters. What to look for on your award.
Did you pause it? The sound, Micah, it went off.
Admission staff people and visiting websites that store school data. However, it may have been difficult to calculate an accurate cost of attendance. With the award letter, you finally have the information you were looking for. Don't worry if your award letter doesn't translate as clearly as you hoped, or you're not sure exactly what it all means. We'll explain the ins and outs of a common award letter. Before we dive into the types of aid offered, it's important to note 5 things. 1. Let's start with the name. Award letter implies that you've been given a gift, but this letter may include loans that have to be paid back, and grants that truly are gifts and do not need to be paid back. 2. Timing will differ. If you've listed a school on your FAFSA and you've been accepted, they should send you an award letter. It could arrive at any time before classes start. Contact your school if you want more information. Some schools will send you an award letter even if you haven't been accepted yet. 3. There's no set rule for how schools write their award letter. If you've selected more than one school on your FAFSA, you'll receive more than one letter, and they might look very different. 4. Some terminology is consistent. Cost of attendance is an estimate of your tuition and fees, room and board, books, supplies, and transportation. Expected family contribution is based on the income and asset information you listed on the FAFSA. Enrollment status will detail if you're full-time, 3/4 time, half-time, or less than half-time. Your aid could change based on your status. 5. You do not need to accept all the aid listed in the award letter. Accepting all your grants and scholarships is wise, as this money doesn't need to be paid back. Many award letters offer you the next steps to accept your aid package, including directions how to accept or deny loans. When it comes to comparing financial aid packages, you want to first look for scholarships. Some schools will have scholarships to offer you, and they'll be listed in your award letter. They could be for a number of reasons. Academic, artistic, leadership, athletic, or other achievements could earn you merit-based aid. It's great. You don't need to pay back this type of aid. Then you have grants. Like scholarships, grants do not need to be repaid. Often, grants are need-based and are offered to you based on the information submitted on your FAFSA. Types of grants could come from your school, your state, and the Department of Education. Your award letter may list a federal work-study award. This money is earned from part-time jobs while attending school and does not have to be repaid. Jobs can be on or off campus and are coordinated through your school. At this point, you can determine your funding gap. Subtract your grants and scholarships from your cost of attendance, and you'll find your funding gap. You can cover this gap with family contributions, your personal savings, income from additional work-study jobs, or other part-time employment, and finally, with student loans. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll discuss student loan options and how to make smart choices when borrowing money for your education.
Okay, now here's an example of what a financial aid award letter looks like. At the top, you can see the cost of going to this school is $38,400, and the tuition and fees and room and board are what we call direct costs because those are the costs actually billed to you. The rest underneath, books, personal, computer, those are estimated costs of costs that you'll likely spend at being a college student at that school. Then it breaks down the financial aid offer into loans and then gift aid. So that would be your grants and your scholarships. Now, you may notice that there are 3 different types of loans: Perkins, Stafford Loan Subsidized, and Stafford Loan Unsubsidized. And the difference between those loans, Perkins and subsidized loans, are loans where the interest doesn't start to accrue on the loan until after you've graduated. And the unsubsidized loans, the interest begins to accrue when you begin college. All three of them have the lowest interest rates of loans that you're going to get. And the subsidized loans are generally seen as the best loans you can get for college. The main takeaway here are the numbers that are outlined in the black rectangles. So you've got the cost of attending the school, that is $38,400, and the aid offered to pay for the school is $28,400. So the question that remains is, there's a $10,000 gap, a $10,000 bill. How do you make that up? We're always going to encourage you to find extra scholarships, and I've included the link and a picture of the Community Foundation for Muskegon County. And this is a primary way that Muskegon area students can access hundreds of different loans, and the average award is about $1,000. There is also a loan called the Federal Parent Plus loan. Now, it's a federal loan, but it is different than the Stafford loans and the Perkins loans, where those you simply need to complete the FAFSA and then you'll be offered those loans, and actually everyone gets offered those loans. This is a bit more like a private loan where you must apply and be approved like a different private loan. And I've also linked here to the application for the Parent Plus loan. There are, of course, private student loans as well. And Sallie Mae is known in the college advising world as a reputable source. And so I've linked to Sallie Mae here. And of course, personal savings is an option as well.
Micah, can I interrupt? Oh, Can you go back one? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just have to add in my Mama Megan stuff, right? And when I look at this, it's such a great list. And I love your hyperlinks. And I'm not sure if we mentioned this, those of you on the Zoom tonight, you'll get a follow-up email with our slides, and the hyperlinks will be available to you so you can explore. But what I want to point out a little bit more on is personal savings. And that is a piece that I feel like we sometimes forget. And I say that from personal experience, right? And one of the things that we can look at as a personal savings, not only is it just a savings account at one of our local banks or credit unions, but think of it also like a 529, right? Where it's an educational account that we've specifically set up for training after high school. So maybe it's a 529 that's set up through the Michigan Saves program, or maybe it's a Michigan Trust, where we actually pre-purchase a bachelor's degree at the rates that are going on currently, so that your student can use it later. So there's all kinds of different ways to think about personal savings. And if it's one thing that I've seen from our community in the last 12 years that I've been working in college access, as well as raising my own kids, my stepchildren going through college, and now being a mom of a junior, it's that personal savings. And we need to be ready for some of the costs that come up. And having it come out of our checkbook is really a hard pill to swallow sometimes. And so having just a nice safety net is some really good advice that I think that we can lend to everybody on the call tonight. So more information on that can really be followed up on with either Micah or I, and she'll also be reminding you of some other key people that might be in your tool belt as the year goes on.
Wonderful. So let's look at another example here of an award letter. You'll notice on this one, the cost of attendance is just those direct costs, and they've added this up to $34,500. And then the financial aid package, they don't actually separate them from grants and loans, so you do kind of have to look and see what is what. The nice thing about this financial aid award is that they have added up for you already. So you have the total cost for the school, $34,500. The total financial aid is $28,700. And then they give you that bill or that gap, and they do the math for you for $5,800. And the other thing I'll note about this one is you can see that Parent Plus loan. You may be able to see my cursor here. You can see the Parent Plus loan right above the total financial aid of $12,200. Now, I will say this can be a little misleading because you still have to apply and be approved for it. It's not automatically given to you as a part of your award package. So I want to make sure that people know when you see it on your financial aid award, it's great that that's money available to you. You'll still have to go to federal student aid and apply for that loan. And then more examples. So this is there because financial aid awards come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and can be a little difficult to interpret. This is an article I really like, and I recommend you have your financial aid awards laid out in front of you and pull up this article or another like it. You can Google other articles like it that are really great. And they'll give you different awards and step-by-step go through what I've been doing, but with even more examples. So very helpful there. And once again, we'll be sending you this PowerPoint, so you'll have this. Okay, so another chat question. Now that we know a bit more about what financial aid award letters look like, the question is how do you get one? Once again in the chat, multiple choice here: A, snail mail; B, email; C, your college student portal; D, all of the above. Okay, the people have spoken. Maybe wait a little bit more. Okay, I'm seeing all D, and that is correct. All of the above. Sometimes I like to joke, snail mail, email, college portal, carrier pigeon. You're getting it in all sorts of ways, so look out for all your options. And I want to zero in a bit on the college student portal because I think this is really important and sometimes students miss it. And I know as a high school student a while ago, this was so confusing to me, and I wish I had some help with this. So you'll want to set up your college student portal the spring of your senior year. This is a personalized college website that you log into, and then you can do all of your college to-dos. You can register for classes, sign up for orientation, of course, review your financial aid award letter. That's what we're talking about tonight. Pay your tuition bill, among other things. Here we've got an example from Grand Valley. Their student portal is called My Banner. And at the top here, you can see different tabs. Under the student tab actually is where you register for classes. Under this financial aid tab, and the arrow here shows your financial aid award. And this you can click on, and then you'd be able to see your award. And it's a little cover here, but it says review your award and accept or decline awards there. So you have senior award, and you in all these different ways that you can access it, but how do you actually get the money? And that is called accepting your financial aid package. And I found this video. It's from CBU, a school in California, so a little random, but I think they do a really good job of showing how you might go in, navigate your student portal, and actually accept your financial aid package, and that you don't actually have to accept all of your student loans. You can accept actually part of a student loan.
Once all of your required documents have been submitted to the financial aid office, you will need to accept or decline your aid. To accept or decline your grants and loans, you will need to log into Inside CDU and access your financial aid offer either through the home screen or under the Financial Aid tab. Select the correct academic year and click on View Financial Aid Offer. At the bottom of your offer, you will see a link to accept or decline your aid. When you are ready, click on that link. Most grants and scholarships will be accepted for you, but be sure to accept any that give the option. For your loans, you will have the option to accept the full amount, accept a reduced amount, or decline the loan. If you want to accept a lower amount, type in the box the new amount you wish to accept. Once you have made your selection, click Next to review your selection. If there is an error, click Edit, correct the amount, and click Next. Review your aid for accuracy and then click Submit. Once your aid has been accepted or declined, the Financial Aid Office will make the appropriate adjustments and your aid will be processed. Thanks for watching.
Now, you may have 1, 2, 3, or more financial aid packages from schools. So that brings the question, what type of things are you considering when you decide on a college? And I'm wondering, I'm interested to hear what you think about different things you should consider when you're deciding on a school. Go ahead and put in the chat. Class size. Campus safety, quality of education, overall cost, comparing overall cost, degrees offered. Great, this is awesome. Price, area, programs offered, absolutely. Wonderful. So here's a list that I put together, and I recognize that each college decision is unique. It's a personal decision. So I've listed some examples of what you might think about just to get some thoughts going. So of course, first is cost. That's what we've been talking about all night, how to interpret what the actual cost of college will be and how you can use that to then compare different award letters. You also want to think about, does it have my career or academic interests represented in its majors and programs? And it looks like you've already got your eye on this. That came up multiple times in the chat. And many students, they get their first job in the area or city or town where their college is. That's where they've networked. That's where they've gotten an internship. So is it a setting where I can see myself getting a job or maybe settling down after I graduate? Does it have student life activities that I'm interested in? So beyond just academics, student organizations, intramural sports, does it have those opportunities that I'm really interested in getting engaged in? And then there's also that sort of gut feeling of, is this the right fit for me?
Micah.
Mm-hmm.
May I interject again, my mama Megan thoughts?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I just want to kind of reiterate on that gut feeling, right? What so long and for so many years we have put a message to our college access work that the gut feeling is finding home. Okay. And, you know, right now we live at home, sometimes in a very cozy home that we love and adore. And that next phase of life is going to be a new home. And so we like to talk to kiddos and students and families that when we're trying to decide, we need to know it's home. I feel good here. I know I can fit in. I know it's the things that I like to see and do, you know, things of that nature. So right now in a pandemic world, it's really hard to get on campus and to see, is that home? Does that feel good to me? but we still really strongly encourage to try to get those visits as best as we can. The virtual may help, but knowing, walk around the city, walk around the campus, right? Is Muskegon where you want to stay? That's fantastic too, right? We just need to find home. That's it.
I love it. And like you said, home is a feeling, not necessarily a dorm room. That for many of our students, especially using the Promise, MCC feels exactly like home, and Baker feels exactly like home. And I know personally those two schools feel like home to me. So maybe I'm a bit biased, but I love that. And okay, so you've thought about these considerations and you've made your decision. How do you let a college know that you've decided on them? So first of all, the deadline for your college decision for most schools is May 1st. So for you seniors, it's coming up. And what you can first do is look at your acceptance letter, and it may have instructions for how you accept your offer. But when in doubt, go ahead and email admissions, and a simple email just saying, I've decided to go to name of school and I will see you in the fall. That will do the trick. And it's also a common courtesy to let schools that you are not have not planned on going to, even though you've gotten an admissions offer from, let them know that you won't be going to the school. And again, a simple email is just fine. Now, I think we've monitored the chat, and now if you have any questions, go right ahead. And I want to give a huge shout out to our college advisors and school counselors, some who are on this Zoom call today, because they are every day in your schools and excited and more than happy to answer questions and guide you through these processes.
I'm not sure you mentioned this. I feel like you did, and I know that many of the participants tonight have been with us all along, Micah, in our full series. But did you mention you were a college advisor at one point?
That's true, yes, at Montague.
Yeah. So it's so awesome, to have your expertise in some of these areas. And I know that you were used to working with one district and a certain group of students. And now this year in the LCAN, your work has, completely kind of blown up a little bit from one school to 16 schools, right? Where we now have 16 high schools that feed into the work that we do in college access. So I really appreciate it. And I know that your expertise is also just as valid as some of those advisors in our local schools and our high school counselors who are working every day so hard to make sure that those connections and bridges are happening for our students. So thank you for that. I'm not seeing any additional questions in chat. So I think we're okay there.
Perfect. Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Awesome. So, for those of you who've joined us in the past, you know this. And for those who are brand new tonight, we will make sure that we share the slide deck of everything that Micah shared with us tonight via email tomorrow morning, as well as some other key resources that we want to point out. Automatically in my mind, as I'm thinking about award letters, I'm thinking about a really cool tool, Micah, that we use called the Award Analyzer. Remember that analyzer that we have, and what it is it's an Excel spreadsheet that highlights different columns that you can plug everything in. So if dollar sign and cost was your number one reason for choosing a college, this is a really helpful tool. And you can start with it local, right? And if you're Promise eligible, you can look at what the Promise Award might do for you. But you can also plug in your other options. Micah had mentioned that we might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different award offers. And so we need to be able to kind of map that out as to what that looks like. And I think the award analyzer will be a great additional tool that we can send in an email, Micah, as a follow-up for everyone to take a peek at. And the only other thing I want to mention is our last drawing for a scholarship, right? In this whole series, we have been doing and ending our Zoom calls with a $500 scholarship to one lucky winner. And again, those of you joining us in a repeat, you know that we like to use the wheel of names. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. As you can see here is our incredible list of names that we had with us tonight. It's spinning, and as soon as I hit it, it will land on a name, and that will be our winner for tonight. If we happen to fall on a counselor or a college advisor, we will do a respin. However, if we land on a parent, that's a-okay, and that parent can elect to give the scholarship to their child. Junior or senior, anyone can win. And here we go. Oh, Kathy Pollock. Kathy Pollock. Awesome. So what we will look to do is we will make sure that we take a look at our recording and our attendance and ensure the rightful owner of that scholarship. It can be used anywhere, and it will come from our local College Access Network. So thank you all for joining us. Micah, do you have any other final words of wisdom that you want to share with this group tonight?
Not any big ones. A huge thank you to everyone, and agree that the award analyzer Excel will be a great addition. So we'll make sure to send that to you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, everybody. At 7:33, we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will be in touch very soon. Have a wonderful spring. Thanks so much.